Hey guys, welcome to A Million Things About Japan. I'm Machiko. On each episode, I would like to introduce things related to Japan. It can be Japanese food, culture, customs, and more. But something unique, something really Japanese, and hopefully something new to you. So please subscribe to the channel and find out what Japan has to offer. よろしくお願いします。One of the previous episodes was about washoku, which is traditional Japanese food. It was the most popular video I've done so far. I am very happy, but a bit surprised by the positive reactions to washoku. Obviously, many people are interested in washoku. Then I thought, how about Youshoku? Maybe many people around the world think all Japanese food is washoku. However, that's not true. We have Youshoku as well. I think, especially for younger generations, Youshoku is as common or as popular as washoku in Japan. Youshoku is uniquely Japanese and probably something you can casually enjoy in Japan. So, I'm very curious about the reaction to Youshoku. Anyway, let's get started. First, let me explain the words washoku and Youshoku. In general, wa means Japanese and yo means Western. Shoku in this case means food, so washoku is Japanese food and Youshoku is Western food. Let me give you a couple more examples about the difference between wa and yo. For a hotel room, if it says washitsu, that means Japanese-style room with tatami mats. On the other hand, a Western-style room with a bed is called yoshitsu. For clothes, traditional Japanese clothes such as kimono are called wafuku, and Western style such as dresses, pants, and shirts are called youfuku. Does that make sense? The goal of my channel is to introduce things about Japan. Now you may be thinking, I don't need to hear about Western food, but stay with me. Although I said Youshoku means Western style food, here in Japan, Youshoku is arranged, adopted, or even created for Japanese people. So Youshoku is actually very Japanese. I just want you to know that Japanese foods are not just sushi, tempura, and ramen. We have many more. In Japanese history, Western-style foods were introduced to Japan by the Portuguese and Spanish during the Edo period. At that time in Japan, meat consumption was prohibited for approximately 1200 years. However, when the Edo period came to an end with a Meiji Restoration, Japan started to modernize through Western influences. In 1871, Emperor Meiji lifted the ban on meat consumption. According to my research, on January 24, 1872, Emperor Meiji ate sukiyaki, which is a Japanese hot pot dish made with thinly sliced beef and vegetables, for the first time. People saw this in the newspapers and were inspired to start eating meat. That said, Western cuisine was only available to a limited number of upper-class people in the early Meiji period. This is because it was difficult for ordinary people to get ingredients needed for Western cuisine. As a result, original Western dishes were arranged with available Japanese ingredients and adapted to suit Japanese taste and preference. Western-style dishes gradually spread to ordinary people. That's how Youshoku was born. If you have a chance to come to Japan, I know that you probably want to eat traditional Japanese washoku, but I recommend you try Youshoku too. It may be a little bit more familiar to you, and Youshoku can be eaten with a fork and spoon. Easy, right? There are so many Youshoku restaurants in Japan, and so many options. You may not be sure where to begin. So, I'm going to introduce some very popular Youshoku dishes today. I hope it will inspire your wish list of foods to try in the future. I have to start with curry rice. Just to be sure, that means curry and rice. Curry is originally from England, but curry rice has become very popular in Japan. Some would say curry rice is the Japanese national food. It is that popular. You may associate curry with India, but curry powder was created in England. According to my research, it was influenced by Indian food culture, and the curry powder was introduced to Japan to create the Western dish. Typical Japanese home-style curry rice has big chunks of potatoes, onions, and carrots. Many Youshoku restaurants have their own recipe and taste. One of the most famous is Kokoichi, which is short for Curry House Kokoichibanya. It is a chain throughout Japan, and you can pick your level of spiciness, but I warn you, don't try the highest, 20. Next is hayashi rice. It is similar to curry rice, but hayashi rice is hashed beef. Beef, onions, mushrooms, and other ingredients are simmered with demi-glace sauce and red wine, then served over rice. Hayashi rice is one of the main Youshoku dishes that was created in Japan during the Meiji period. When I think about hayashi rice, it is made with tomato sauce or ketchup, so it has a reddish color, but it seems like there is no specific definitions. Also, pork or chicken can be used instead of beef. I found various origins, but let me introduce the one I think is most likely. It was invented by Hayashi Yuteki, the founder of Maruzen, a company known for its publishing and bookstore business. He was dedicated to introducing Western culture and study. He liked to invite friends to his house and treat them to his home-cooked meals. One of the dishes he introduced to them is considered to be today's hayashi rice. If you are not a big fan of spicy food, I think you may enjoy hayashi rice. One more rice Youshoku dish I want to introduce is beef stroganoff. As you may know, beef stroganoff is a beef dish that originated from Russia, made by simmering shredded beef and mushrooms in a sour cream-based sauce. However, in Japan, demi-glace sauce is often used instead of sour cream, so the color is likely to be brown and is sometimes confused with hayashi rice or beef stew. Beef stroganoff has become popular in Japan since the 1990s. For me, beef stroganoff has a somewhat luxurious feel compared to curry rice or hayashi rice. Speaking of beef stroganoff, I had an interesting experience while living in the United States. When I went to Noodles and Company with my husband for the first time, I did not understand why they have beef stroganoff on the menu. For me, beef stroganoff is a rice dish, not a noodle dish. So I had many questions. After that, I looked it up and found out that beef stroganoff is a noodle dish in the United States. You pour beef stroganoff on top of yellow noodles, right? I was curious enough to make it at home for myself. It was good, but it was not beef stroganoff to me. That's why I think it may be interesting for you to try our Youshoku-style beef stroganoff in Japan if you have a chance. Let's move on to the Youshoku pasta dish loved in Japan called Napolitan. Can you guess what it is? Napolitan is a Japanese pasta dish made with ketchup. Boiled spaghetti is stir-fried with some vegetables and some type of meat such as ham or sausage, then seasoned with ketchup. It was invented in Yokohama during the 1940s. Shigetada Irie, the second-generation head chef of Hotel New Grand, was inspired to create Napolitan after seeing an American soldier eating spaghetti mixed with ketchup. However, Napolitan at Hotel New Grand was made without any ketchup and made with an original tomato sauce instead. It is named after the tomato sauce pasta sold at food stalls in Naples, Italy, during the Middle Ages. The reputation of Napolitan spread throughout Japan, and a version of Napolitan seasoned with ketchup instead of tomato sauce was born. Due to its convenience, ketchup-seasoned Napolitan became the mainstream. Napolitan is so popular that many Japanese people do not know it was created in Japan. I remember my mom made Napolitan when I was little. I think many Japanese people share the same memory, so Napolitan gives us natsukashi or nostalgic feelings. Another ketchup-seasoned Youshoku dish is omurice. The word omurice is a combination of omelette and rice. The omelette was introduced to Japan in the early Meiji period. An omelette filled with rice was created at Rengate, a Western-style restaurant in Ginza, Tokyo. The classic-style omurice, which is fried rice with ketchup, is wrapped in a thinly cooked omelette and appeared during the Taisho era. Nowadays, omurice made with a very fluffy omelette on top is very popular. Each restaurant may have a different style of omurice, so it may be interesting to look for one you prefer. In the previous episode about eggs, I showed how to make omurice at home. Please check it out. Lastly, I want to talk about doria. I know, what is doria, right? I knew doria was not English, but until recently, I kind of assumed it was from a country in Europe. The very popular Youshoku rice dish, doria, originated in Japan. To make doria, sauce is poured over rice, sprinkled with cheese on top, and baked in the oven. It looks like a gluten dish, but has rice instead of macaroni. The rice can be butter rice or ketchup rice, and the most common sauce is bechamel sauce, a type of white cream sauce. It can be meat sauce or curry sauce as well. Whenever I made curry or meat sauce at home and had some left over, I made doria with it the next day. It was created by a Swiss chef, Sally Whale, the first head chef of Yokohama's long-standing New Grand Hotel. He poured creamed shrimp, which was popular in Europe at the time, over rice pilaf, then topped it with bechamel sauce and cheese. It was baked in the oven. This is how doria began. Sally Whale named it after an Italian aristocrat, Andrea Doria. However, the reason for this is unclear. When it comes to doria, I believe that many Japanese people think of one from Saizeriya, a popular Italian restaurant chain in Japan. It is called Milano-fu doria or Milanese doria. It is one of their signature dishes and the price is about 300 yen. Now you may want to know where you can try these Youshoku dishes. Youshokuya, which means Western-style restaurants, are everywhere in Japan, so you can easily Google it. For example, in Kanto area, Youshoku Yoshikami in Asakusa, Kitchen Number in Jinbōchō, Rengate in Ginza, and Youshoku Kimura in Yokohama are well-known Youshoku restaurants. Or you can try them at family restaurants too. Japanese family restaurants have surprisingly good service and quality food. Supermarkets or convenience stores also have some Youshoku bento. Youshoku may not seem authentically Japanese, but you can definitely see it is filled with Japanese creativity and execution. Compared to washoku, Youshoku may look more familiar to you, and if you can enjoy it just as we Japanese people do, I would be very happy. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. I also have an Instagram account for A Million Things About Japan. You can find the link in the description. What Youshoku dishes sound good to you? Would you like to try them in Japan? Please let me know in the comments. Alright then, stay tuned for more episodes. まったね